Hey guys, welcome back. More Disney Infinity action, and we are in the toy box. We are going to build a battle arena, not like others that I've seen or built in the past. This one is going to be able to pit boss against boss along with troops to support them. First things first, let's go ahead and change our terrain to something battle-like. Okay. Probably should have themed it, but that's okay. Want to keep it simple, so that size will be it. Now let's check out the sports thing. I feel like that's been overdone, but it's going to be a coin toss between that. There's not too many good rounded ones that'll have a stadium effect. Did I miss it? There's sports. But I didn't entirely want it to be an actual stadium. But I'll probably need that anyway now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go. Like there. It's going to be I want it to be very circular. Relatively tight confines. And on, well, I guess I gotta even do it this way too then, don't I? Alright, so let's go here. And then just bring all these in. Like so. We will need those doors on either end because like we did in the Revenge of the Sith, where Darth Vader is our ally, we're going to push the bosses in through the door and force them to join a team. Kind of like the Union does. Alright, that works for me. Nice. Looks like it's pretty well centered, maybe a smidge off, but it's all good. I think what I'm going to do with this is maybe move it up here somewhere so we have a vantage point, but, and we'll leave it like that. We'll have a vantage point that'll hopefully keep us out of the actual fray. And of course, for that, we will need to lay down some sort of a platform. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So we'll go to our wood blocks real quick. There you are. And that's about perfectly centered. Okay. And just move this guy a little bit. So this will give us a platform to observe all the action from. See how this fits. Actually, I think we may go. That kind of looks better, I guess. And last but not least, I think we'll put some rails around there so that as you're moving to observe the action, it doesn't drop you somewhere you don't want to be. Let's see, decorations, maybe? I think it is. If not, it'll be in city build. I'm feeling like it's in this area. Maybe not. Alright, let's try here. There we go. And there's a couple of different kinds, but these are the ones I was looking for. Just drop the corners first, makes life simple that way. And let's see. Too big. And you can always jump into the action yourself if you want to. I think I'm going to change the woodblock color though so that it closer matches the rails. Let's see, dark. I should probably work on my sky change too because that's going to affect it all. I'm going to go ahead and go with that for now. I'm going to change out the sky to give it something a little bit more apocalyptic. We want instant fun. Yeah, I tried doing a quick little build on 2.0 the other day, and it's like, I know where almost everything is when I go through these ribbons, and it's not the same place on 2.0, so I was getting a little frustrated looking for things where I know where they should be, but they're different over there. You also didn't have the option like I'm doing right now, just to go to properties and change the sky setting. You had to go and press the button. I don't know what sky I want to use though. I don't feel like going up and going through discs right now. Retro video, Radiator Spring, Castle. I always forget what this looks like. Oh, that's definitely the wrong feel for it. It's got the name Dragon's Flight, so you think it's going to be some ominous sky, and then all of a sudden it's like Pixie Dust City. Metroville, Colby, Monsters, Infinity and Beyond. That's actually not a bad one. And it's got the ominous music to go with it. Can you really beat that? That works. That'd be the winner. Already liking that. Okay, so that's the hard part. Nah, I lied. That's the easy part. So now let's go ahead and start getting to our creativitoys. First thing I want to start with, well, a couple of things. I guess we're going to definitely need these. So we'll have a blue one down here. And we'll go with orange over here. More to come on that in a little while. Over here, we will need a pathfinder. Path creator, I don't know. I always call it a pathfinder. We're gonna have to build this out a couple of blocks, but we'll start there. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And both of these we want to do is go to our properties and just turn them off. And then repeat that on this side. So what that's eventually going to do is going to be a block here that's going to shove the boss through, and it's going to make them play over here. Actually, I might want to back these up eventually, but I'm going to leave them there for the moment just so I can start setting the logic up. So next thing we're going to need are several of these. I'm going to go with, I'm going to say 2 on each. It's a small arena, it's tight confines. Yeah, that should do the trick. And as we go back up here, we should have, I'm going to drop a couple of these. I know I'll need them eventually for something or other. I'll even put one of these in case. Yeah, Invisinator or whatever you call it there. Teleporter. Invisinator. I'm gonna put that up here. Be nice if you could overlap it, but you can't. I don't think you can. Nope. I wonder if... Nah, it won't work. We'll just put it right there next to it. Now, I've never actually used one of these, so... with that in mind... Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's what I was hoping. So that's all you gotta do is tap on that, and then you're invisible. How do you undo it? Maybe you don't undo it. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what I did. Or maybe it only lasts a certain amount of time. Yeah, I got a feeling that's all it is, a certain amount of time. Yep. And I'm wondering if you can set that time. Nope, new logic and that's it. Invised. Alright, I'm still going to keep it there because you can always just kind of go back and tap on it again. Alright, back to this. We're going to need our enemy weight. Well, we're going to need our boss too. So... That's what I was wondering. We could still make that work. We will just have to offset the blocks further back a little bit. I don't want to, I mean, I could just drag the point back as well. As you can see, there's a delay now when you select your boss fight spawner for the first time in a toy box. So don't get freaked out if you're trying to build one and all of a sudden it freezes up and pauses. It's doing that for everybody. But after that, the first one, the rest of them seem to go pretty much like they used to, and boom and done. Not sure why that is. I should be able to just drag that path back out a little ways. See, that's why I hate messing with the paths, because now look what's happened. You know what? At this point, it's just easier to get rid of it and put a new one in before you get too invested in it. So that is what we will end up doing. But let me start by adding out the terrain. No, actually, I was about to put some enemy wave generators. Let me do that first. So we'll put one with that. And we'll put one with that. I think we're going to use a challenge maker. Let me just think about this for a second. Yeah, why not? Because you'll have an option then of going invisible, in which case you don't have to pick sides, you could just watch the battle. Or if you choose, you'll be on, let's say, the blue team, and then you just set up the blue team the way you want it to be. Alright, that should be the majority of the logic. I can't think of too much more than that we would need. One thing I do want to do here. I'm not sure if this will work or not, to be honest with you, but we'll give it a shot. Even if it doesn't, there are other ways of making it work. This is going to be the button that starts the whole shebang. Yeah, it's working. I'm not a big fan of that, though. Let's put that there for the moment. Really? Alright, go right here. I'm just going to expand this a little bit more so there's some more leg room. And apparently I didn't save the theme earlier. I thought I did. Grab that. And then we can drag this dude back. And I think I will also set him to invisible. Then that'll allow us to bring this where I want it. Don't think I'm gonna actually need this for anything, but I'll keep it just until the end. Okay, now back to the terrain. That's where we were at. Just gonna get a couple of blocks just to fill it out enough to cover for the bosses here. Yeah, that's the size we're looking for. Now I would have sworn that I did set this up. So what we'll do is go to 2. And get that set there. Hunter Gaming, hello again. Good to see you, good to see you. Normally I wouldn't mess with this stuff till later, but since we're already in the terrain category, let's go ahead and just edge this thing up, make it look decent. This is just one of those little touches that I like to always put on my stuff just because it makes it look a little bit more finished. In my opinion. Rather than just having those squared off edges right there. That missed. Got that. That's good. Then we'll probably just take some of the massive terrain blocks. For the straightaways. And since everything is going to be taking place inside the arena, it doesn't really matter too much on the outside. I'm not going to get fancy with that. I'm not going to be doing any yeah, as I say, it didn't look like this one was connecting. Well, we still got more on the ends. End caps. Oh, the boss is going to be a problem. Didn't think about that. Let's go here. We are just going to raise him one notch. Because otherwise the tops of this block, or this edge rather, will interfere. And now it won't. I think we could use the trigger box actually and override that. Why don't we find out? Because now I'm curious, that's all. Even though the servers are done, doesn't mean we can't keep learning and trying out new things. Good thing now is if you do find some sort of little trick of the trade, there's no way they're ever going to go back in and do an update to cancel it out. Is that all the way down? Looks like it is. Let's see if it makes a difference. It's a 50-50, but I'm going to say it does not make a difference. And I would be right. It was a shot, though. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So the same thing, we'll just one notch. So the boss will just have to drop down one, that's all. Okay, there is some other logic we'll need, which is going to be a timer. Well, thank you, Hunter. I appreciate that. Glad to have you watching. Building creativity toys. There we go. So let's go with a timer. Do I want a timer or do I want a... what should I call it? Time delayer, that's what I want. I always get the name mixed up. Let's just go ahead and set that for... I think 3 seconds ought to be good enough. Alright, so the things that you'll be able to change if you build this yourself will be which of these characters you want to have. So if you want to make it all Star Wars, you can put Star Wars character villains in there. If you wanted to have, let's say, the regular stormtroopers against the clone stormtroopers, and have... well, you can't really have Jedi against the dark side too much, since you're going to be using two bosses. Doesn't mean you can't have a boss fighting with you, I suppose. But anyway, bottom line is you can change these guys to anyone you want, as can you, obviously, with your boss. Everything else will be pretty much the same. So, let's get to the nitty-gritty parts. We'll need some more blocks down here. We're going to create that funnel, and again, if you saw the Revenge of the Sith build I did not too long ago, it's going to be the very same thing. There is no way in the world I'm ever going to deal with that music thing. That is so time-consuming. Let's start with the wedges. Yeah, that's another good reason that we raised the boss up a notch. Wanna see, I think we should be able to get those wood blocks just to merge. And then you won't even see it because of the thickness there. But let's see if I'm right. Yep. Debating. I'm gonna try it like this. Hopefully it'll work. I just think it looks better. That you won't be able to see it at all from inside. Oops. I love wood blocks. They're so easy to work with. Cooperative little things. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Now I gotta put the yellow block back again. And we're just creating the funnel effect right here. That's going to push your boss, as it were, into the arena. I'm just going to go 3 out, or, well, I guess technically that's 4 out. And... No, no. Please tell me I didn't delete it. That doesn't matter, I guess I didn't really. What's going on here? Alright, we'll get back to that. It'll work. I just have to maybe give it a little time. Wait, wrong. There we go. And 4. Try it one more time, and if not, we'll just come back to it afterwards. There it goes. Might not have been getting the whole block out of that. We'll scooch this one down to this end for later. And back we go. So again, that's going to be your basic funnel. And now, what we need is a little bit of a straightaway. Go that and 1. How's that? There we go. And we'll do the same on this side. And obviously we're just going to rinse and repeat this on the other side. And then here is where I'm going to do one more. Just to make sure that we have got well, let me see now. I really don't want to have to connect all that much to it. Here's what I'm going to do differently. Just going to move this on the inner. like that. Not sure if it'll let us. I don't think it will. I mean, technically, I could probably use that yellow block again. Let's see if that's true. No. I could use a Pathfinder. I don't know if I really need it, though. I don't think I'm going to. And since you won't really see that, I'm not going to spend the extra time on it right now. My friend, I don't know when my next stream is. It's just a matter of when I feel like, yeah, now's the time I can sit down and spend an hour doing a build or something like that. I don't all that often really plan it out anymore. I was doing a lot more planning in the last month or so with the servers up because I was playing Beat the Clock. And not only did I want to get my builds out in time for people to download it, but I also wanted to let them see how it was done. And I feel like I'm going to have that same... Well, that's okay. I can do this. And this, and then I'll just block out the... Then I'll back those up a bit. So you want to guarantee that the villain is inside of our funnel. Or the boss, I shouldn't say the villain, the boss. So this is going to push him through the gate. But how, you may ask? Well, that's where we go back to our Creativitoys and go back to our Path Creator. See, I didn't say Finder. And I found it's always a good thing to lay a few extra dots down there just because you can use those for different features in the game. And we will push him right up to that point. And eventually what we'll end up doing then is having the blue team gizmo placed right about here so that it forces them to go through it. And again, we'll come over here and go to our properties and set it to off so that it doesn't start automatically. And now, with that having been done, we will connect our blocks, oops, to the Path Creator, property, sorry. And then we'll go to our path, and then we want to, I think it's going to be horizontal, excuse me, horizontal. Is that a word? Is now. And we'll just move it back so it's in the right place, and that was 6. One other thing we want to do while we're here, we're not going to orient it. We are going to, I'm thinking one way and stop, because that'll keep anyone else from coming in through that gate. So we're going to go one way and stop. Because if any of the enemies should happen to wander their way through the gate, they could end up jumping teams. Yep, Hunter, I'm the same way. It's just I gotta be in the mood to do this kind of stuff. I can't just say, alright, I'm gonna do a build, and it's not gonna work that way for me. I've gotta be feeling the moment. I don't even know what I just did. I think I lost my train. Oh no, I was right. Yep, okay. Properties, toolbox path. Horizontal should be. That works. And we want the motion to be one way and stop. So the way that's going to work is the timer, which I think we set for 3 seconds, will start once we press the button up yonder. So, new logic connection, when it's pressed, start the delay. New logic connection, when the delay is complete, we're going to turn that on. Now, the other thing we want this button to do is when it's pressed, we want it to immediately, without a delay, turn on the enemy spawner. Or the boss wave generator. So this should spawn a boss within a second or two. And then right after that, this little funnel gadget should shove him through the door. And that's really half the battle box right there already done. So now the locators, we're going to put that over here. We're going to configure the wave. I don't really know what first battle box I want to have out of this, because I'll be switching it up periodically. I was actually just going to do a battle box, and I was like, well, let me make something that's a little bit more. I'm going to throw these guys in there only because they're pretty brutal. So they'll fight on whoever's team is going to be on that side. And our properties here, yes, we want them to go to the locators. And I want no delay, I want them to come in right away. Not going to need that, because this is going to do all that. What I will need is another trigger box. And when that is entered by player 1, it will start the game. We do not want to auto start it. We're going to put a locator in 1 second. We'll go with the current location for the end location. I don't like the countdown personally. Let's just make it happen, I think. And unfortunately, you can't put any titles in there. Not going to be doing any vehicles and mounts and stuff, so we'll just go with foot. I'm going to borrow one of these. Yeah, that's fine. Player 1 will be attached to the blue team, as I said, if you want him involved, or her involved, depending on your character. Then you can just jump into the action. And it's too far away to see. Let me see, though. Gotta see where that little tip is pointing. So right now the tip is pointing this way, which means I would spawn in facing that way, which I don't want to do. Thank you, Jack. And then I will need to now add a second one back there for this guy. Like so. And let's see how we want to set this one up. We gave some pretty tough guys on the first team. I think we'll go this way. Want to keep this about even fight if we can. We want to go into this different locators and 0 time delay. Now here's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Team connection is on orange, and then over here team connection is blue. Now once again, wherever the tip that is blue is pointing is where the characters will be pointing, so that's what I want them pointing towards the other team's end, and both of those are, so we got that down. We're going to do the same thing over here, only we're going to have to rotate each of those. Like so. Yeah, that's even. Okay, so those are all good to go. We've set them to teams. Got our countdown. Still haven't used those buttons for anything yet. Maybe we won't. We'll see. One other thing is new logic connection. Once the game is started, we'll want to turn this box off. Otherwise, it's going to keep on wanting to do its thing. And then oh, wrong button. No, I was right. No, logic connector, sorry. When the game is completed, and there is a difference between completed, ended, failed, and all that, we'll reactivate it. So that'll give you the opportunity to go into another one. Oops. So our new logic connection is when the invite is accepted. We'll turn that on. When the invite is accepted, we'll turn that on. And again, just to buy us a little time, when the game is started, we'll start the delay. Once the delay is complete, it'll start the Pathfinder and the funnel. And speaking of funnels, we gotta do this side as well. You know, it never ceases to amaze me. This is a pretty simple build, yet it's going to take a few minutes here, isn't it? Actually, is this okay? No. Alright, let's move. The box has to cover the entire wood block, apparently. Well, it doesn't seem to be wanting to cooperate on this one at all. Why? Worked fine on the last one. Well, let's try, for the sake of argument. I'm not too worried about it. If I have to, I can just throw a Pathfinder in there as well. I just find that the less of those you use, the better the result generally is. Isn't that funny? It works fine with this block. I had to switch the yellow block out. And sometimes it just behaves that way, and I don't have any clue why, so if you're wondering, I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. It's a bit fickle, that's the best I can tell you. Alright, and there's that. And we went 4, so we'll go 4 here. Because we also want to time the enemies to come in to face off against one another on an even keel. I have to use that block again, so I'll save those last two for last. There's that. No. And last but not least on this, once again, go get our path creator out of our creativitoys. Right there. And I'm not sure that I'll actually use any of those extra little dots as a trigger for anything, but it is better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. I'm going to push this right up to the gate. So we come back here. Whoops, a little too far. Go to our properties, and again, make sure it is off. If you don't turn it off, as soon as you hook these blocks up, they're going to go like crazy. And just grab the block again and go to your properties, toy box path, and we want 6 on the horizontal. Oops, and guess what I forgot again? We want it to go one way and stop. Over here, same thing, new path connector. And then grab the block again, go to properties. Horizontal, this time will be -6. And our movement, once again, one way and stop. So that is all set to go. One last thing we have to do here is, again, once the time expires, the delay is complete, we need to turn that on. And that's what will push our villain, enemy, whatever you're going to call them, through. Alright, so let me see. We've set all our enemies up here. So I'm feeling like we're done having to need this where it is, where we can actually now move it out of this arena and to the point that we want it really to be in, which is here. Actually, I'm going to try right there. Because once the wood block gets there, it should be completely covering that. That'll force our enemy into it. Come on, come on. It's a touchy little thing. I'm going to start it there. I can always move it back a little further if I find out that it doesn't work, but it should. I'm going to get rid of these since I haven't used them for anything. Doesn't mean I won't end up needing to use them. I'm also going to get this thing out of the playing field because I won't need this for anything. It's kind of serving its own purpose just as a logic piece. Eventually I'm going to throw it underneath where you can't even see it at all, but I'm just leaving it here in case I've got to tweak something. Sometimes you think these things are all set to go, and then not so much. Don't need that. I'm almost thinking we're good. Other than I have to decide what I want the bosses to be, but other than that, I think everything is pretty much where it needs to be. We've got our enemies. We'll throw that one over there. Those I'll probably keep up top, just because it'll be easier to go down and change them up to whoever you want. Rather than have it underneath somewhere. You'd have to fly down or whatever. And with that logic in mind, I think I'm going to take the time delay and move that over here more with this, because these two pieces of logic can probably both hide when it's all said and done. There is something else that I do want to do, which is new logic when the game is completed. I want to, let me see. In case you want to play more than one game, you know, you go through one round, then you might want to switch it up and play again. Here's what I'm going to... Thinking here. Let me try this. Give me my case button. And I'll borrow this block for just a moment and stick it right about here. So, a couple things. When the game begins, or invites accepted, how's that? We'll deactivate it so that nobody can accidentally trigger it. When the game is completed, we will activate it so that you can press it. Now, we still haven't figured out how to win this game yet, so we have to tell it that whenever the boss is defeated, I don't know, do we want to make it the boss or the army? I'm thinking the army. So we might throw some counters in here for fun. Alright, let's finish this up though. Because wouldn't it be cool if like Darth Vader takes out Boba Fett, but then the Boba Fett army still manages to beat Darth Vader on him? So our new logic connection, when that is pressed, what I would like it to do is reset it and stop. New logic connection again when it's pressed. And again, reset it and stop, and then of course, same exact thing on this side. And this should be okay. Sometimes with that reset stop thing, it can be a little tricky, but we'll see. It's pressed. Reset and stop. And the only thing I'm not sure about is by resetting and stopping it, then when you go to play the game again by going up there to the I love the way that looks when it's all merged. So let's say you play through one round, it's all over, you want to do it again, you jump in the box, which will now be activated again. Mind you, you've already hit the button down here because you have to reset the blocks to back here. And then the enemy drops in. This is going to... Okay, we got to do a couple things here real quick, I'm thinking. So once the game starts... guess what? Let me see if I can do this. I never tried this before, but... New logic connection. When the point is reached by the object on the path, will that turn you off? Can it turn you off? It can. Alright, so it'll turn the path off. So let's do the same thing over here now. And again, I keep wanting to go to properties. Logic connection when the point is reached by object on the path. Turn it off. So now, where was I? We press the button, which will reset it onto a path that is off, so it should stay just like it is now. The trick is, when I jump back up here to start playing another round, it'll turn the path on, which in theory should make the blocks go, but sometimes the blocks don't play well with others. So what I'm thinking is with a timer, I might want to change it to, instead of just turning it on, or actually, wait a minute, what's the timer doing? It's got the path creator, so it's not even going to the block. So here's what we can do. When the delay is complete, and this should definitely fix it. Reset and play. I feel pretty strongly that this will take care of that. I've never yet done a build where it just worked the first test out. Maybe this will be that one. Wouldn't that be nice? Delay is complete. And I could just soon tie these two blocks together and say when this one resets and play, that one resets and play. I just kind of want to have it this way. Yeah, I would be stunned if this does not work after that. That should totally take care of any problems I might have had otherwise, which I think I would have had if I didn't do that. Alright, so there we have that. Let's get back to this here. Oh, there was one more thing. Yes, we needed to... We're going to go with the counters. So, give me some counters if you would. Those little flip cardy guys. Team, no. Counter, yes. And I will need 2 of you. And I'm going to need my enemies. One for you. And one for you. New logic, and every time an enemy is defeated, we're going to increment this number by 1. And at the same time, if the boss is defeated... Oh, now I gotta tell it who? Alright, well that's something to remember on your counters where you have to make this choice. Well, we'll go ahead and go Darth Vader. We'll increment it by 1. So that's a grand total of 7, because we have 6 teammates for him to work with, and himself is 7. So now, we're going to go to our properties. The target is 7, so if it reaches 7... I'm going to turn the visible display off because we won't need to see the score. We'll see who's left on the field. Reset on target reached. Sure. For the same logic. Doesn't really matter. New logic. If it hits 7, that would mean that the orange team loses. Which is player 2, essentially. I was hoping for red, orange, blue kind of thing. No? Give me a second. Give me a second. Maybe instead then, we get rid of these guys. And we replace it with the team scoreboard. New logic once again. When the enemy is defeated, which is the orange team here, we want to increment by 1. There we go. I'm gonna go with the blue team, so whoever gets to 7 first wins. And the same thing here. If we've defeated, we're gonna go ahead and start with Darth Vader. Increment by 1 the blue team opposite. Let me set the target properties. Play to 7. Win by 2, no. Visible display, I just don't see a need for it. We will hide everything else. And then let's just reverse all that over here, because now we're on the blue team. So, every time an enemy is defeated here on the blue team, increment by 1 the orange team. And now you could assume just put it that when the enemy's defeated, the game's over. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to see if one of the bosses is still left standing and there's some army members from the other team still at it. If they could overcome the boss. New logic. And defeated, so it'll be Darth Vader. Oh, as tempting it is, Darth Vader against Darth Maul. Sure, why not? Battle of the Sith. And he's on the blue team, but if he's defeated, then we are going to increment by 1 the orange team. last but not least, when the target score is reached, which is 7 by either side, complete the game. We'll see how that all turns out. Alright, at this point, I don't think there's anything left to do with this. I'm feeling pretty good. Not sure if I should, but I am. So the scoreboard, one of the few things I'm really confident about right now. I'm gonna throw that over here with the other logic, because after I test it and get it to work properly, these guys here are gonna go away. They're gonna go underneath. Alright, so Mr. Sparrow, as much as I've enjoyed having you around, I think I'm going to swap you out. And I feel like somebody's missing in my crowd here. Who do we want to throw in there? Throw Ezra, what the heck? Young Jedi trainee. There you go. Get a good picture here. Do your thing, do your thing. Yeah, I like that one. I thought he was gonna like swirl it around or something, but that's okay. So it's gonna be a new save. I've already got plenty of battle boxes. Let me come up with something different. This will be the War Zone. War Zone Arena. How's that? Oops. Once I get it to work, I'm going to also throw a bunch of breakable items in there, stuff that'll just kind of blow up and whatever, and kind of add some more special effects to the thing, and might even actually drop in some special effects. I just want to get the very basics of this thing working, so I know all the logic is good, and after that I'll definitely pop in some extra little fun moments. Add a little bit more to it. Alright guys, it is time to give this thing a real test. Once we step into that box, it's all gonna happen. Let me go here, so I'm invisible. We got Darth Vader on that side. What's happening on this side? Something's not happening. So the wood blocks did their thing. They pushed through, although I think that delay may have to go a lot longer. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, he's down there. Alright, they both came in. I don't see their teams. Why is that? And why are they not the different colors they should be? I will presume that they both missed the team generator that's going to force them to be other players. Let me borrow this again real quick. That's Vader. And that's Vader. Why did it not do... Oh, I know why, because I never set it here. Alright, let me go here. Actually, while I'm here, let me just test one more thing out. I can't, because until the game is done, that won't do. Alright. Not a problem. We're just going to reload it. Gotta end the challenge. Yes. We're gonna load. Toy box. I tell you, it never works the first time. You thought I was lying to you. Use Kylo Ren. Well, I don't want to use Kylo Ren because Kylo Ren's actually going to be in this fight, and I might decide to jump in a little bit towards the end there. But that's the glory of it. If you build this thing yourself, you can make the boss whoever you want and throw Kylo Ren into it, or have two Kylo Rens. Truly is limitless what you can do with this thing. I was pretty sure I told it to spawn the enemy waves once the game started, but I'm willing to bet I didn't. I know I did it for the bosses. So we're going to say no, don't want it to start yet. I said no. And as you can see, the blocks haven't moved. And actually what I'm also thinking is this is going to have to stay here, I think. Because... and I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to tell anyone else. Because this, as I recall, oh, I guess it doesn't. Never mind. I thought it also spawned, it originally was going to, and then I switched. I thought it spawned the enemy. Or the boss rather, and by spawning the boss you'd have to have that there so you could change it to whatever boss you're going to use, but it's not, which means sadly I'm going to probably have to keep this up here. Yeah, so this is supposed to be oh, wait, there... yeah, Darth Maul. Right. You know what? I stand corrected. I could have been Kylo Ren. I forgot we don't have Kylo Ren as a boss somehow. How they overlooked that is beyond me. You're probably sitting there the whole time going, what is he talking about? Kylo Ren? Alright, so I will be able to hide, although this again, I'm going to probably have to leave this here, I'm pretty sure. Not a big deal. Can you make that invisible? I don't think so. Nope. Oh, it just turns it on, so maybe I don't need it. What was the other? Oh, so then this I would have to keep. Okay, because this is the other thing that has to know which boss to count. Gotcha. Alright, so Kylo is set. And then last but not least, the game is started. Generate the wave. Oh, not what I want. Generate the wave. Alright, this time we should be in pretty good shape. One of the other things eventually I don't know if I want to do it or not. I was kind of thinking about the getting the crowd to all jump around stuff. It's just so time consuming because you have to go into each of these. Although there's not too many blocks, I went really small on this one. Maybe I will. You'd have to put it on a loop where they just keep on jumping up and down like idiots, and you can have them cheer and boo and all that kind of stuff. I think what I might do is just have a regular crowd sound effect running, and then as enemies are defeated, have them either boo or cheer. But that will definitely be like on the next part of the build, not today. However, since I'm feeling pretty confident, let's throw some stuff in here. I don't want toys, I want destructible stuff. Decorations? Give me stuff to break. Preferably something that kind of gonna make a mess when it does. Okay. Not feeling that. I don't think those break, do they? They might. I know this does, and I love the way these break. These things just explode. Put that batch over there. Then on either side of our reset switch. Easy for me to say. Me has an idea. It'll work one way or the other. Yeah, it's much better. Okay, let's see. We've determined that they're pretty cooperative. Now we're going to see if it cooperates with landmass, which I don't think it will. But like I said, fun to mess with stuff and try new things. I've never tried this, but I'd say it's a 50-50 chance that this will work. And if it doesn't, no big deal. I can just use a path creator, and that will make it work. What is he doing, you ask? Well, I want to build a platform, but I want it to be low to the ground. Not as high as this. And that's not going to happen that way, which is fine. I knew there would be a possibility of that happening. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take... And it has to be stairs or it won't work, because characters struggle with the slopes if they're not steps. Especially the bosses for some reason, which you would think. Wouldn't be the case, but it is. Oop, let's try this. What we want to do is make sure it's in the center so that our numbers all match up here in a minute. And just like earlier, make sure you turn it off first. Now this one is just going to stay off. So we're going to go horizontal. No, we're not. We're going to go front to back. And it's 2. And that means this... Oh, wait. Alright, that's part of the battle. 2 yes. And then... vertical. -2. So that's going to give us a shallow platform that they can easily get up and down. Then rinse and repeat. When we say forward, backwards, so in this case it's going to be -2, and the -2 on the vertical will be the same for everybody. And you can see that's nice and tight to the ground. Looks a little bit cooler too, I think. Now you see where I'm at? I'm over here where it was, and it still highlights it. So you don't have to worry about fishing it out or anything like that. Properties, toy box path. I'm thinking it's going to be horizontal. Yep. Then we want that. And then finally -2. Look at how neat that works. So you only have half the stairs, which is all you need anyway. But again, nice and low to the ground. Then I'll come out here to grab it. Almost done. And we're doing that off of one Pathfinder. Last one. Gets our properties, toy box path. And that's it. All finito. Like I said, all tight to the ground. I really think that should be it. That is definitely going to be it for today's build, but we're going to test it out once. I'm not going to not give it a shot at this point. Let's just take a look around first for a moment. You get that little flashing thing there, which I'm not a fan of that, but in this case you really can't do a whole lot about it. Best you could do was change the terrain to be a closer matching color, or change the blocks to match the terrain color more, but not enough for me to worry about it. It will serve its purpose. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot to save it. try it again. It's all about the timing. There you go. Warzone Arena. This has been a fun little build. As you guys see, it's pretty simple to do, so it's something you can easily do yourselves if you choose to do so and decorate it your own way. It doesn't have to be an arena, it can be anything. It can be a city with all the same basic logic working. You just have to remember you have to leave an area pretty good size for your bosses to spawn into. But that whole funnel system, you could set that up at the back of a map somewhere and make things happen. Oh, Mark, you're a funny guy. How the heck are you, man? Alright, saved it. Let's put it to the test.
Such weakness. Only in rage and hate can one be strong.
Alright, we got the enemies. We got Vader. I heard Kylo, although his bar doesn't show up for some reason. I guess they can only show one. Oh yeah, I forgot to go invisible. Excuse me. So we got Kylo down there.
Give in to your hate.
Oh, there we go. Where is Vader? I hear him.
I will show no
Oh, he's down there.
I am uninterested in letting you succeed. Prepare yourself.
Is Kylo down there? I'm not seeing Kylo. Oh, they're noticing me though, aren't they? Alright, I'm invisible, at least for a few seconds. Where's Kylo Ren? Did we get him?
There is no escape.
Sucker! Alright, I'm on the blue team, I think, right? Yeah, they're not beating me up.
Give in to your anger and strike me down.
Oh, man. I thought Vader was on my side. Oh, no, no, he's orange. Just like that ugly thing.
I have you now. Release your anger. You will meet your destiny.
Can these guys beat up Vader? Kylo went down pretty quick. Yo, you're blue. You're on my team, aren't you? Yeah, stop beating me up. Rawr!
Give in to your hate.
Make sure we can't get to the team machine here.
In letting you succeed.
Wait a minute, whose team am I on? Yeah, I'm on the orange? Or did it... Oh, I'm so confused. Is there an orange team? Yeah, there is. Why are they all looking blue, though? Like, those guys are.
Insurgency will be eliminated.
Oh, I don't think Vader ended up going blue is the problem. I am confused. Well, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden... Alright, something weird just happened there. Now all of a sudden we see... Alright. I think, and I said Kylo, I meant Darth Maul, I'm sorry. Where is Darth Maul at? It's... I mean, he should have been forced in. What if he's in the block? Is that possible? I think he is. I think somehow he got stuck inside the block. Oh, you stink. Yeah, that's one of the other things I have to still do is set everything to defeat once the game is over. Then I gotta figure out where Darth Maul is at. If he's not there, he's not that guy. I mean, the good thing is the blocks do prevent anyone from accidentally hitting the team generator and oh, sweat! Where'd you come from? Oh.
Taste my blade. You yield.
Couple of things I'm gonna have to change.
Submit or suffer.
Guess that got away from me.
You fall.
Missed it.
Expect to win. Run away or be defeated. This will hurt. You face the power of the dark side now. Your tenacity is your downfall.
Oh.
Bow to me.
Uh-oh.
Beware my wrath.
Sucker! Alright, so I'm going to do a few tweaks on this on the next one. Number one is all enemies have to be defeated when it's said and done. We got a chance to test out our button here and see if everything resets properly. Let's go. Yeah, so there... I don't think our enemy ran through this thing properly. Let's see, now you're my friend, right? Oh, shiznit. Yeah, so these two guys know how to fight each other now. Right? No? Oh, I think he doubled. Yeah, there we go. Now this guy will be my buddy. Yeah, there you go. Man, I'm getting tired of you. I'm blue, he's blue, and he's orange. What I'm going to have to do is pull these blocks over more to force it through the blue. Team maker. How you like that? Huh? Yeah, I think they went in through like the side here and missed the team maker, so not a big deal. We can fix that. Yeah, because realistically, I was kind of worried about the fact you might see it, but with that, well, by the way, the blocks did reset perfectly, so we got that working. Now the next question is, will they play again? Which they should, if we go a second round. So let's see how that works. You can see the blocks are pushing through. I think what I'm going to do on this one... Nope, that's not what I want to do. Or do I? Is that my... That's the identity desk. Where's the invisible... Is it not here? Or I go to the other tools, maybe? Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. What happened? We need to maybe reset the boss as well. Alright, so once we add the defeats in and all that, like I said, the good news is the reset works fine and all that. So it's just some little tweaking right now. We're going to have to also at the end of a game reset or activate. No, not about active, but reset. I think the boss spawners. Let's find out to be sure though. Make sure they're not standing out here and just missed their... Yeah, no, they didn't spawn in. So we'll have to reset that. We'll have to defeat everyone when it's all said and done. I think I'm going to delay by another second or two even to make sure that the enemy does. And then we've got to bring in these little triangle dudes here a little closer and tighter in. No big deal there either. That'll be simple. So maybe tomorrow. We'll see how that goes if I've got some time. Hate to say it, but it should only take maybe 40 minutes to get it together. Alright guys, well that is it for this run. Wait a minute, how did he just change teams? I heard somebody change teams. Was he able to get in there? Oh, stink, man. Oh, I'm over here trying to shoot, and all I can do is turn invisible. And I'm throwing the disc. Baby, it's cold outside. Oh, sweat. Man, I'm dying bad. Okay, I'm hitting the throw button. Won't let me even throw the disc now. Alright. So that's it. We're good for today, and now I've got just a little bit of tweaking to do tomorrow, and I think we'll be in good shape. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Always fun getting in here and messing around with some Disney Infinity logic. Alright, that's it for this time. By the way, join us if you haven't already on the PlayStation Network community, Infinity Ever After. Last count, I think we were up to 77. I'm super happy about that, because that whole community was built the day either of or the day after the servers went down. So we're looking at people who are still dedicated to the game, people who still want to do stuff with it. And that was kind of the reason why I waited till after the servers went down to start one. I've been watching all these other communities that have had 500 people, and their numbers are starting to drop off a little bit as people have stopped using them. Their communities are dead, nothing's happening in them, and we stay active pretty much all the time. So if you are looking for a group of people who are still into Disney Infinity, join us. That's all I can tell you. We have a good time. We're going to be doing some special events in the near future through SharePlay, so come on, hang out, have some fun. Until next time, guys, remember Disney Infinity, it's a game where the only limitation is your imagination. I will catch you next time for more Under Construction.